Welcome all you very curious types to this explainer. Today, we're doing something a little different. We're treating the job application process like a mechanical system that is just begging to be hacked and optimized. So if you've been submitting applications and hearing absolutely nothing back, like total radio silence, you are in the exact right place. We're going to completely rebuild your approach today. Okay, let's dive right into this. Why exactly did your visually stunning, perfectly crafted resume just disappear into the digital void? I mean, you probably spent hours picking the perfect colors, setting up a really sleek two-column layout. Maybe you even added some cool little progress bars for your programming languages, right? And it looks incredible to the human eye, but to the machine, your formatting is basically a foreign pathogen, and the system's immune response is to immediately reject it. And the brutal statistical reality here is that 75% of resumes are instantly deleted by applicant tracking systems before a human being ever even lays eyes on them. They aren't rejected after a quick skim. They are deleted. The recruiter literally never even knew you existed simply because the software couldn't read your data. So here is our roadmap to reverse engineer this problem. We've got 1. The ATS Black Hole. 2. The anatomy of ATS formatting. 3. Choosing your resume architecture. 4. The Google XYZ formula. And finally 5. The open source resume tools you can actually use.
All right, starting with part 1, the ATS Black Hole and understanding the 98%.
Traditional university career center advice often completely ignores how modern machine learning actually parses and scores your data. You might get handed a brochure showing you how to make your document look, pretty and professional, but this completely misses the mark. Modern ATS platforms, things like Workday or Greenhouse, well, they're text parsers. They use machine learning to score contextual relevance, and they use that to rank candidates. If your beautiful design corrupts that parser, you automatically rank dead last. Let's move on to part 2, anatomy of ATS formatting, where we'll dissect the parser. The absolute crucial point here is that you must strictly adhere to a set of rigid formatting rules to prevent the algorithm from scrambling your critical data. You need a single column layout. You need standard fonts, think Arial or Calibri. Your dates have to follow a strict month and year format so the system can actually calculate your experience accurately. And honestly, most importantly, no tables, no graphics, and absolutely no text boxes. Seriously, none. Here is exactly what happens when you use a two-column design. Us humans, we see a neat layout. But the text parser, it just reads straight across, left to right, into absolute gibberish. It literally takes a line from your left column, which might be your job title, and smashes it directly into a line from your right column, like your education, creating a totally nonsensical sentence. Your core skills just vanish into thin air. And looking at the data, standardizing your resume to a single column gives you a 93% parsing accuracy. That protects your technical skills from being artificially deleted. Multi-column layouts drop that accuracy significantly. And in the all-important skills section, that accuracy absolutely plummets from 65% down to just 46%. That is a massive, massive loss of data just to make the page look pretty. Which brings us right to part 3. Choosing resume architecture and structuring your data. The parser basically expects a reverse chronological framework so it can easily map out your dates. Functional resumes, on the other hand, well, they often break the algorithm and they make human recruiters highly skeptical. Because functional resumes group things by skill, they completely untether your achievements from a specific job and date. The ATS hates this because it can't figure out when you actually did those things, and human recruiters just assume you're trying to hide massive employment gaps. Now, for our engineering and biology transitioners, the hybrid structure is the perfect middle ground. It injects your hard skills up front while still providing that verified timeline the parser demands. So you get a targeted, keyword-rich section right at the top for the ATS to grab onto, followed by a very clear chronological work history. It perfectly controls that first impression while satisfying the machine's absolute need for structured data. All right, part 4, the Google XYZ formula and engineering your bullet points. I want you to think of this as a strict algebraic equation for your career. This exact formula is how you write a quantified impact statement. It forces you to lead with the outcome, provide the metric, and state the mechanical action you took. It was popularized by Google's former senior vice president of people operations, and it completely shifts your resume from a boring list of tasks into a dynamic record of business impact. X is your outcome, Y is your proof, and Z is the technical method you used to get there.
Notice the dramatic difference here. The XYZ method completely transforms a passive duty into a mathematically measurable business impact. Instead of saying you assisted with something, which tells the system absolutely nothing, I mean, you might as well have been fetching coffee, you developed 30 plus posts. That's your X and Y, and you did it by using Hootsuite Analytics. There is your Z. You are proving your capability with hard data that the ATS and the human recruiter are both going to love.
And finally, Part 5, Open Source Resume Tools and Building Without Traps.
Listen closely to this part because first and foremost, you must avoid those flashy online builders that bait you with free designs, but then hold your finalized PDF hostage behind a hidden monthly subscription trap. It is a massive scam. You're going to spend an hour typing everything in, only to hit download and find out it costs $2 for a trial that quietly auto-renews at $25 a month. We do not want any of that. Instead, you should use genuinely free open-source tools that allow you to manage and version control your resume exactly like a codebase. Reactive Resume will give you a clean, parser-friendly PDF instantly, totally for free. OpenResume actually runs a local parser right in your browser, so you can literally test if the ATS is going to scramble your data. And Render CV? That one is brilliant for the hardcore software engineers out there. It stores your data in a YAML file, meaning you can track changes in Git and swap templates without ever touching the core text. So, by engineering your resume specifically for the algorithm, standardizing your format, and utilizing that XYZ formula, you can finally escape the application black hole. It is time to stop letting bad formatting hide your incredible skills. So, what is the very first formatting change you are going to make to your document today? Let me know down in the comments below and subscribe to BioNerds and Engineers, micro where biology meets engineering.